Hola clase. Today we're going to learn about indirect object pronouns in Spanish. So first we're going to start with what is a direct object. A direct object usually refers to people, and it's to or for whom the verb or the action is being performed in the sentence. Example, I wash the car for Alex. For whom do I wash the car? For Alex. So what the indirect object pronoun be to replace Alex? It would be for him. We would say I washed the car for him. Alex is the indirect object, and for him is the indirect object pronoun. Otro ejemplo. They bought the dog for my brother and me. For whom did they buy the dog? For my brother and me, which would turn to us. So the pronoun shortens the actual direct object. Otro ejemplo, I clean the house for Mark and Mary. Who would we replace Mark and Mary with? For them. I clean the house for them. Another example, my sister and I make dinner for our parents. So my sister and I would be replaced with we, and make dinner for them, we would replace our parents. So just take a look at the difference. The we is the subject pronoun, and for them is the object pronoun. So we does the action of the sentence of making dinner, and for them receives the action. Subject pronoun versus object pronoun. In Spanish, in English, here are the object or the indirect object pronouns. We say for me, for you, for him, for her, or it, for us, for you all, and for them. Something that's kind of confusing in English is that you and you all can be an object pronoun or a subject pronoun. For example, you would never say me go to the store or us ride the bike, but you could say you go to the store or you all ride the bike. So these two in the second person can be either subject or object pronouns. Just keep that in mind. In Spanish, the indirect object pronouns are as follows. For me, if I receive the action, it's me. If you receive the action, te. Usted or él or ella is le. Nosotros is nos. Vosotros os, and that's just in Spain. Ustedes is les, and ellos and ellas is les. Remember, this le and les is second person, you and you all, but it just happens to be the exact same as for him, for her, and for you all. It doesn't mean the same, it's just the same word. So the indirect object pronouns in Spanish go in front of a conjugated verb. This is really different than in English. For example, escribo un email. I write an email. So it depends for whom I'm writing the email. Let's say I'm writing it for you. I would say, te escribo un email. For you, I write an email. If I'm receiving it, writing it for him, I would say, le escribo un email. It goes in front of the conjugated verb. Another example, compré un teléfono móvil. So I bought a cell phone. For whom did I buy the cell phone? Let's say I bought it for myself. Me compré un teléfono móvil. Let's say I bought it for you. Te compré un teléfono móvil. I bought it for us. Nos compré un teléfono móvil. It goes in front of the conjugated verb. But wait, there's other places that it can be put in the sentence. So it can also be attached directly to an infinitive. When would we do this? When you're saying you're going to do something. So I'm going to write an email. So if I'm going to write you an email, I could attach it right to the infinitive escribir. Voy a escribirte un email. Voy a escribirles un email for them. Or I could put it right here in front of the conjugated verb. So you can decide which way you feel more comfortable. If you decide I'm always going to put it in front of the conjugated verb, not to get confused, that's perfectly fine. Just know you'll see it attached to the end. Another example, voy a comprarte un teléfono móvil. Or voy a comprarles un teléfono móvil. I could put it right here. Les voy a comprar, te voy a comprar, but I could also attach it. Another place it can be directly attached is to the gerund. So that's the ing in Spanish. I don't know if you remember this, I hope so, but if I say I am writing an email, this yendo is from the verb escribir, and it's like I am writing. So if I'm writing you an email, I could attach it right to that. Estoy escribiéndote un email. Or I could put it in front of the conjugated verb. The other example, the same thing. Está comprándome un teléfono móvil. So he or she is buying me a cell phone. I could put it in front of the conjugated verb if I wanted. So let's just do some of these. So if I am receiving the mobile phone that my parents bought, what would I put in the blank? Mis padres me compraron un móvil. So literally you're saying, my parents, me, they bought. A mí again, mis padres me van a comprar in the future un móvil. Or I could attach it to the infinitive, mis padres van a comprarme un móvil, a mí. It means the exact same thing. So they are buying me, mis padres me están comprando un móvil, or están comprándome un móvil. Notice you have to put an accent mark on the A when you attach it to the gerund to keep the same stress, comprándome. Another example, if I say I bought my sister a dress, a mi hermana, so what would go before compré? For a mi hermana, it would be le. Le compré un vestido a mi hermana. If I'm buying her a dress right now, le estoy comprando un vestido, or estoy comprándole un vestido with the accent mark. But you can always just decide you're going to put it in front and keep it simple. I'm going to buy a dress for her. Le voy a comprar un vestido a mi hermana. Or voy a comprarle un vestido. So if I want to say I called you, but you didn't answer me, what would go in this blank for a ti? And what would go in this blank for a mí? Te llamé por teléfono, pero no me contestaste. If I'm calling you right now and you're not answering, te estoy llamando, pero no me contestas. Or estoy llamándote, pero no me contestas. Another example, my sister and I, for them, we prepare dinner. So it's for my parents. What would go in the blank for my parents? For them, hopefully you got it right. Les. Les preparamos la cena. We are preparing them the dinner. Les estamos preparando la cena. Or estamos preparándoles la cena. That's supposed to have an accent mark. Mi madre siempre blank preparó la cena. So she always made dinner for us. What would I go in the blank for us? That's right, nos. Siempre nos preparó la cena. Now in Spain, if I'm talking to a group of friends, a vosotros, what would go in the blank? I'm going to buy you the tickets. os. Voy a compraros los tickets, or os voy a comprar los tickets. Or I bought them for you already. Os compré los tickets. This one looks funny, but it's right. Estoy comprándoos, or os estoy comprando los tickets. So os refers to vosotros in Spain only. What would go in the blank for a mí? Pablo bought me a coffee. Me compró un café. He's buying me a coffee. Me está comprando un café. Or está comprándome un café. He's going to buy me a coffee. Va a comprarme un café. So what would go in the blank for a ti? Carlos sold you some sneakers. A ti would be te. Te vendió unos tenis. Te está vendiendo unos tenis a ti? Or está vendiéndote unos tenis. Or he's going to. Te va a vender unos tenis. Or va a venderte unos tenis. You can attach it to the infinitive or a gerund. Mi papá, he showed us photos. A mamá y a mí. So what would go in the blank for a mamá y a mí? Nos mostró fotos de su viaje. So you can't put it anywhere else because this is a conjugated verb in the past tense. He showed us. To recap, you have the indirect object pronouns. They can go before a conjugated verb, or they can go attached to a gerund or an infinitive. They are as follows. If it's a mí, it's me. A ti, te. A él, ella, usted, le. Nosotros, nos. Vosotros, os. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, les. Now you try. You can pause the presentation. Jot it down if you'd like. I'm just going to go through and give you the answers. So you're going to buy a shirt for me. A mí. Me vas a comprar una camiseta, or vas a comprarme. You give a kiss to Juan. Juan is receiving the kiss. So a Juan would be le. Le das un beso. Tú vas a darle un beso a Juan. Vamos a comprar unos regalos a nuestros padres. Who is receiving the regalos? Nuestros padres. What would you replace nuestros padres with? Les. Vamos a comprarles unos regalos. Les compramos unos regalos. So el Señor sings to us. What indirect object pronoun means to us? Nos está cantando. He is singing. Nos cantó. He did sing. Y he's going to sing. Va a cantarnos. El hombre va a vender una corbata fea. So he's going to sell you an ugly tie. What would go in the blank for you? Te. All of these would be te. Su madre va a leer blank libros a ustedes. So she's going to read to you all. What would go in the blank for you all? Les. All of them would be les. I'm going to show you all some shoes in Spain. What would go in the blank for a vosotras? They would all be os.